Good morning. Welcome to the world of conscious positive thinking with MJ, where your thoughts become your power and your mindset becomes your compass. MJ is here to guide you through a journey of self-awareness, emotional mastery, and empowered living.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Yeah, man. Just feel it. Let it flow. Peace and love in the air, you know. Woke up with the sun on my face. Breathing deep in this holy space. Feeling good, no need to race. The rhythm of life moves at its pace. Good vibes rise like smoke in the sky. Love in our hearts, no need to ask why. Dance with the trees, sing with the breeze. The world of conscience puts the mind at ease. Colors swirl in my open mind. Truth and joy in the thoughts I find. A smile's the cure, a word's the key. Positive thinking sets you free. Good vibes rise like smoke in the sky.
Hey, does that just make you feel happy? Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, we're getting through May. We're at May 18th. May 18th. I mean, this year is flying. That fire horse is taking us to new measures. Welcome to my show. I am MJ at the World of Conscious Positive Thinking, TWCPT, if it's easier for TWOCPT, right? And it's only right here, live on mbradio.us, military broadcast radio, coming to you since, a long time. I can't remember the date, but it's a long time. And we get to celebrate. And today is a very special one for me because on Friday, if you listened to my show last week, Friday was exactly 2 years on MBR. And I can't believe it's 2 years already. And I love to be able to share something with you all. So this station is revocating and rehabilitating veterans into finding if maybe their voice can carry a reason or a help or an assistance to others. This is why I love this station. This station is a nonprofit. It's a 501c3. So we do it on sponsorships and we do it on donations to help get their veterans the equipment that they need if this is how they want to go forward. And my job here, I am offering free my conscious awareness knowledge of how I went from this airman in the Air Force into who I am today. So when somebody says, oh, I know MJ, I'm like, nope, you used to know MJ. And this is different. This is, I honor the old MJ, but here I am, the new MJ, because why? Because I actually healed a lot of what was keeping me angry and depressed and frustrated and just all those negative emotions of jealousies and angers and resentments. And they were all from my ego. They're all from my judgment. And so what I thought that I could bring to this beautiful station was positive consciousness. Anytime you want to think negative, we flip the pattern and we become conscious aware that we are on the opposite side of the radio. We need to be on the other side. And so how do we do that? By triggers. We find it by triggers. We find it by any of the energies that doesn't make us feel good. And if you've listened to my show, or if you're new, So this show helps you try to find that flip pattern, no matter if it's trust, no matter if it's love, no matter if it's like balancing and aligning and trying to find our groove, what makes us who we are. You'll hear me say man, right? I've dubbed man, right? Because man is responsible. Everything that we do in our life, man is responsible, not God, man. Right? So we got this schedule to come here, and here we are, and now we run into all these hiccups. So we put these catalysts in order for us to reign above what doesn't serve the highest good, right? So if it doesn't serve the highest good, why do I want to be part of it? Why would you want to be part of it, right? However, we still are. There's anger, there's distrust, there's bickering, there's arguing, who's right, who's wrong. That all plays with ego. That all plays with judgment. The two worst evils of man, egos and judgments, right? But yet, when I say the worst, I shouldn't say but yet, when I say those two faculties, it's those two faculties that strive our world that we know it today. They just strive. And it is the reasonings because we as man allowed it. We counted ourselves by morals, our belief systems, our conscious presence, our religional preference. Man has just taken and just moved into a path. Sometimes, my opinion, for whatever it's worth out there, but sometimes I believe that particular goes kind of hindsight with one's truth, right? So if we believe it to be true, who's to say it's not? This is my truth. But our truth could be, now going into the interpretation center, our truth is based on information that has been gathered. So if there is this information here, but all this information over here, we're blindsided like a horse, right? We didn't see it. We're like, wait a minute. But that was my truth. And so here we find, did you actually flip that? Did you see what was really true? Maybe it was just information you didn't have before. Maybe it is an awareness for an event that you have to learn. It's plausible that what you heard was somebody's intention that was false. Maybe what your truth is something that you honored because of who told you, third-party information, right? This is the problem with all of this. This is the problem with our societies. It is the problem with everything, is man's consciousness. Don't believe me? Just go on social media. You want to see all the hatred, anger, and disgusting things in the world? You don't even need the news anymore. Just go on social media. You'll see people fighting, people shooting other people, radically bombing areas. You just see it. It's not that you invested. It pops up on your screen. It's like, why the hell do you want to see stuff like this? I don't care. It doesn't, but it's no business of mine, which is how we this is how we work our conscious presence. So our conscious presence going forward gives us everything we need to know, because we don't go to the past. We surrender the past. Father, forgive me. I've lost my way. Father, forgive them, for they have lost their way. So if we can forgive, then we're good, right? We just keep moving forward and our life becomes very balanced. So let's dive into why we're here today. Why we're here. It's our review. It is our biggest review. I'm going to go through the shows, and I'm also going to give our angel numbers, which I'm getting ready to do. And then twice a month, I do moon ceremonies. And people come into the fire circle where we'll do Reikis, or we will give the circle information, and we'll give the moon's information, so that when you are feeling something, you're like, where is this coming from? You might remember one of those episodes. It's called Why Moon Why, right? So we'll get to that, and you can go back to those. And so as we go through them, you'll understand why we do moons. So for me, I absolutely love telling and speaking and honoring what is the moon, because every time there's an energetic of the moon, people come back and say, the moon doesn't affect me. I go, it actually does, because we go, all of us, I don't care who you are, it is a wave. It's an energetic wave. And if there is anything in the wave that you are having to learn, or something that you are going through, it is during that wave it'll peak. And people don't see how that works necessarily, but it's true. New moon, full moon, both of these, more people are so aware of the full moon because there's just so many disturbances with the energies of the full moon, because it's very powerful. I mean, it affects our tides. It affects our body's fluidities. There you go. There was a other show that we called Just a Cup of Water, right? So that is another thing with our moon. So all of these little tidbits were in our last year of building up to see how different things work, how our words work, what words we need to remove, how water works, how the moon works, how our earth works, how we spin. So I was trying to inform during this past year how things evolve, right? Awareness, when we were talking about truths and awareness, the awareness of when you can see air, that awareness in itself is the highest, it's one of the highest levels when you can see air. And when you see it, you don't ever want that die back. It is an amazing thing because you are so at peace. I listen to my friends, my family, who are still in these cities, Miami's, Denver's, New York. So these cities are very problematic right now. They're very troublesome to a lot of people. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of corruption going on, and there's a lot of just dysfunction. So when I get somebody, I love to tell them, free your mind, shut it down, especially if you're in the city, shut it down. Everything you need to know is going to present itself to you. Just shut it down, because there's so much, and it just gets mind boggling. So let's get to angel numbers. So today, I still have my 40-year-old glasses on. Yes, they're 40 years old. These are like one of my first pair of glasses, and I was unpacking boxes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if they still work. I put them on. Perfect eyesight. Perfect. I mean, of course, I can't have my bifocals, so I have to take them off. But can you imagine how our eyes just work with us? So today, our magical number, we are 051826, and it is a resulting number of 4. What does 4 mean? Yes, if you said angels, you're absolutely right. When you see the number 4, angels are confirming that they are near you, and they want you to know that they are ready to assist you to make your dreams come true. Know that the angels always hear your thoughts as well as your prayers. They are surrounding you with love every day. I want to play caution on that. Be careful what you ask for, that you think about what your choices are all the way around, because if your choice, look at your presidents, if your choice helps these over here, what happened to them over there, right? Be careful about your choices. Make your thoughts and your prayers, make sure they are for all that's going to serve the highest good. Okay. Angel power word of the day is happiness, right? I love it. Happiness. Who doesn't want a world of happiness in this beautiful energy? Well, that would be, here we are. We are in the world of happiness. According to the angels, that is what today is. It just is going to bring happiness and joy, and things are just going to start moving at a very more rapid pace. So get that seatbelt on and get ready. Angel number also contains number 51. It is important to remember that there is only one of you in this world. That's right. There's only one of you. And you are very, very, very different from everybody else. You are your own individual. You are your own person. And you bringing the world originality and innate beautiful qualities. The angels don't want you to fit in. Don't be fitting in, you people. Don't be the sheeps. They don't want you to fit in. They want you to stand out for all the right reasons, for everything that brings you joy, happiness, and understanding to everybody else. Just as your fingerprints, right, your little dots are unique to you, you are that gift, that talent, and that brilliance to the world. Every single one of us bring a very uniqueness to our areas, a very uniqueness to the world at large. I don't care who you are. Every single one of us has our own individual blueprint to this beautiful world. Angel number also contains the number 82. The abundance angels, abundance, are here to bring balance to your financial concerns. The solutions to your financial situation is to choose happiness. It is like an accelerator to the abundance. The angels give you this permission to choose happiness today. There's no need to wait. It is time to allow that money to flow, baby. We're going to flow that money today. Woohoo! And let it go. So the other number is 26. We all know that 26 is our abundance. So the angels know that you feel empowered when you feel compassion for others. Now they ask to feel the same compassion for yourself. It is very important that you say no to requests that make you feel uneasy. Stop subduing you. Stop saying, okay, I'll do it. And you don't want to. Or you feel ucky when you do something. Or you're part of a situation and it's not working for you. Why are we doing this? Don't self-sabotage yourself. Okay? Trust that these sensations in your body are those of your inner compass. And then we get to our last number, number 18. Archangel Michael, Army of St. Michael, is present and assist you with any financial difficulties you may face at the moment. Ask Archangel Michael to come in through this beautiful energy in this beautiful day, because abundance is our birthright. He is with you to assist in anything. He is guiding you to the ways that will increase your finances. Some examples may include selling surplus items, seeking a financial advisor, wise spending, creating a budget, or saving very small amounts of money when you can, and call on Archangel Michael and his army if you require extra support, and hand your worries over about money. Hand them over to him. The more you worry about money is the more you are not going to get it. So the words that you want to use is, I am full of abundance. My birthright allows me to have abundance. This is grace with grace and humility and thankfulness. If you don't believe that you can be thankful, there's always the old mantra, Ho'oponopono, right? Remember it. Okay. They are our angel numbers, and that's where we sit today. So if you want a little copy of that, just text me. How do you text me? Well, you can go to TWOCPT@gmail.com or TWOCP@mbradio.us. Either one of those will get to us. It's on the bottom of the screen. It's tickering right through there. So whenever you see it, just go ahead and jot that down. As far as if you don't want to post anything when we're talking, go ahead and email that. Or if you want to show this new year, I am free to talk really about anything. We have some good things coming up for the year that I think that weighs on my teeter-totter of really good. So we're going to be talking about some of those. But if you have a subject that you're struggling, or you have some type, write it in the email. We won't use your name, obviously. And we'll have a discussion on that, and knowing something can trigger and help you feel like a better person. Does that feel good? Okay. So we're going to do a quick break because we're 18 past the hour. So let's do a quick break. Yes, back to our songs. And then when we come back, we'll dig in and we'll start right away with our review. And then once we go through them, we'll go straight to our Taurus new moon and why this energy is full of an abundance and full of just beautiful, beautiful energy. If there's learning that has to be done, yes, of course, then we have to figure that out as well. But not to, here we are facing it, right? Well, there it is. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it this time, right? We have the courage. We have the faith. We have all these things we talked about throughout the year. Let's face it together. That's it. You're listening to mbradio.us. I'm MJ. This is my show, The World of Conscious Positive Thinking. And we'll be right back. We're going to play a little tune. See you soon.
Peace, love, light. Let your soul rise. Wake up, beautiful child of the sun. Your journey of truth has already begun. Thoughts are the seeds, so plant them kind. The garden of heaven lives in your mind. Tune into the light. Let your spirit sing. Feel the love in everything. Vibes are high. The veil is thin. The universe is pulsing within. Open hearts and third eyesight. Tune into the light. MJ whispers in waves of sound. Messages rising from sacred ground. Words like incense drift through the air. You are divine, be fully aware. Tune into the light. Let your spirit sing. Feel the love in everything. Vibes are high. The veil is thin. The universe is pulsing within. Open hearts and third eyesight. Tune into the light. Your thoughts are keys. Your breath is prayer. You are the healer you've been waiting for. Tune into the light. Let your spirit sing. Feel the love in everything. Vibes are high. The veil is thin. The universe is pulsing within. Open hearts and third eyesight. Tune into the light. Tune in, shine on. You're already home.
I hope you enjoyed that. We're gonna get it done. Like the backdrop. Look, I don't have my fairies. I have all my arms this time. I'm getting there. It is a world for me. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. I'm used to just sitting and talking and not having all of these controls. So yeah, we got control. We got the power. Okay, here we go. It is the year in review. So my first year, we did 34 episodes. This year, we ended at 72 episodes. Can somebody do that math? Right? 32 to or 30, what I tell you, 34? Yes. So that was the new commander. We ended on 34. So we started our year in 2025. And episode number 35 was the assistance for our disabled veterans. So we talked about different ways where people can assist our veterans. We talked about 501c3s. We talked about different ways that how we can assist. We also got into the psyche of assisting our veterans. You know, are we constantly hovering over them? Are we constantly, are you allowing your disabled veteran to breathe, and how to allow them to continue and support them as they move forward with whatever their disability as they come out, and honoring them, allowing them time. Maybe they need to grieve. Maybe they need to, you know, sit back and understand the journey that they're now on. So this was that show. Then we went to episode number 36. How do you heal? So right after that, we went to something called How Do You Heal? Good morning, Terry. Yes, you're hidden behind the video of the lady. What? What does that mean? I think when I played my music. So just so everybody knows, Joel, my MBR family who usually helps me behind here, Joel is on a road trip. I even wore his H train for his road trip today. He is out and about. And so I've been trying to figure some things out. So Terry is now telling me that I'm hidden behind a lady. If you can't see me, I'm very sorry. I can't seem to, on StreamYard, which is the studio, it won't even let me get to my closings and everything else. Have no idea why. So I have to go with it. But Terry, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how to fix it. But if you can hear my voice and you can probably see my picture, that's great. So I'm just going to keep moving because she can obviously hear me. So number 37. No, 36 is how do you heal, right? When we studied this, we went into different modalities of healing: Eastern medicine, Western medicine, alternative medicine. So we went through all these different modalities of trying to heal the body, not just choosing a big pharma or not just choosing, holistic approaches. It's when you blend everything together. And that was the scopes of how do you heal. Most of the time it's physical and metaphysical. Don't forget one or the other, because if you do, then we have some more issues. We go to episode number 37, evolving through change. Yes, we all have to change. And we went back from caveman time to where they bludgeoned their babies or threw them in, their firstborn. They, let me see, stop sharing it or change the layout of the screen. And again, okay. So at this point, we talked about how do you heal, and these all came into that. Evolving through the change. Yes, we changed. Evolving through that change is number 37. And number 37 is how do we go from, this to this, and having that evolution of change. We're in one of those evolutions of change these last 15, 20 years. We're trying to morph into this AI or these IT things. And so these are that evolving. It's frustrating for some because most people dislike change. And so most people kind of fight about it, like push back about it. So all of these play a source. And now we go to episode number 38, communication of change. So we have to communicate. So as we start developing, right, these were all about how we're coming back and having a disable. How do we heal? How do we do this? How do we start evolving? And this was like the whole kind of buildup that we were doing here on TWOCPT, because we need you to understand that change is good. Even though a lot of people don't like change, change is good. And sometimes it allows us to see what doesn't really work. Even though we are fighting it, it shows us sometimes that it's okay for change, and you try it. Right? But you don't try it with a pessimistic judgment egoic attitude. We openly go, let me see how I feel about this. And let's just, with an open mind, go forward with what we're doing and see how my life changes. Does it make it easier for me? Does it make it harder for me? Am I a slow learner that I have to keep up with everybody else? I'm going to tell you, folks, one of the biggest things that I didn't do because I was like, I'm retiring. I don't need to keep up with this. And I have people on the computers that want to sit there. I don't want to sit. I didn't keep up. I didn't keep up with the computers. And I struggle now. Like, I feel like I really missed that step. I was back on, I don't know, Windows 6 or Windows 7 or something. And I don't know what Windows we're on now, but these are where if I didn't continue, right? I continued with my cell phone, but I didn't continue with the computers and all these other stuff. I just did what I was very comfortable in doing, even those people are like, you're doing it the hard way. I don't know, hard way, short way. I don't know. But this is a little bit different. And then we go into number 39. It was called The Art of the Deal. Okay. So I believe that one was how we communicate with others. How do we find contracts, especially business? United States is a business, whether anybody likes it or not. Sometimes the political sciences get in the way of the business of creating a wealthier nation. And so I wanted to bring this as, yes, even the United States, it is a business. And even us who everyday life, we have to conduct business. Even if you're not a business person, we have to conduct these types of businesses. And these businesses are really more or less like, conducting your banking. That's a business, right? That is an establishment. FDIC is an establishment. So you conduct business by your banking. And these are decisions and arts of the deals that you would make for interest rates or whatever it is that you're doing. So that was number 39. Number 40, personality matrix. Boy, I remember this one. So I teach a class. It's called Personality Matrix. It's how to understand who you are and who other people are. There's 4 quadrants. And this one I had to do in 2 parts because something happened up here in this mountain with my thing. So you had to do, and you took it like a little quiz to see where you are. And you wrote numbers down. And then we went through and we told you why we had to change these things. So that was personality matrix, trying to figure out how to help understand the matrix of somebody. And there's only 4 quadrants of a personality matrix. So which one were you? And so that was that one. I did my best. I usually teach it in a classroom setting. So I did my best here so that people could do it. Then I have number 41, episode number 41. It's Let's Start Vibing. So if we are not grounded and we are not put into the root of earth, our vibing, it doesn't go anywhere. And then we become in a lower vibration. We're not grounding in to source the energy of Pachamama, Mother Earth, Jerusalem, whatever you want to call our beautiful earth, and then to the ascension up to God, so that everything correlates and our paths are strong. A lot of people miss this stuff. And so if we're not grounded, then we have an old, not we, but people who are spiritual say, as below, as above, so is above. Or so is above, as below. So in other words, if your roots spanned out and they nicely ground, then your tree branches must do the same thing on the top, which is why I love trees, because it reminds us of us. The fingerprints, like their rings, it reminds us of us. Their core of their heart reminds us of us, right? Grounding in from our feet to our head reminds us of us. There's a lot of similarities that trees have that humans could actually source with the resonance, that the frequency's vibration. That's why you'll see a lot of people on the third eye, they'll put their third eye onto a tree. And so this will help create that energy going forward. That energy comes back into you. Okay, then we do balancing with your partner. Now, this is a tough one, especially for some in the military. It's a really tough one because sometimes we have to leave our partners behind. Sometimes we have to understand where our partners are actually going and what they are actually doing. And at that's a little bit different. That then comes into a bigger challenge, balancing the partner, because we are not them and they have to be themselves, right? So one of my masters says, this is a good relationship. Like if these are the 2 people, and even though they must do this journey, right? They're on their own journey. Somehow at the end of the day, they come back. So this is brilliant in itself because it shows you, how this energy of balancing with your partner, allowing for that trust, allowing for them to go out and do their journey of what they came here to this beautiful earth to educate or balance themselves, or to, figure out those resources. So balancing with your partner, that number of 42, that one becomes sometimes a little bit of a challenge. But yet we still move through it. We still are able to get through it. We might not appreciate in the end the partner, maybe one too many things, that when you're going on this curve, all of a sudden it's this way and we're not meeting anywhere, right? It's not a beautiful garage that you come out and you come in together. That's what we want. We want that beautiful balance. That's what we all strive for. That's where we start learning what it is that has kept us back to balance with our partner or to be one. Is it a communication issue? Is it because we fear an abuse situation? Then that's not good. So these are how we need to set back, process, be aware of how the energy of our partners. So all that would be in that show. Then I did 43. What is Reiki? I always kept mentioning Reiki here and there, and I kept mentioning different things about Reiki. And people are like, MJ, a lot of people don't even know what Reiki is. So I dedicated episode number 43, what is Reiki? And we went through different styles, different types, different approaches with Reiki. Reiki sometimes can be very controversial to some spiritualists. It is a sacredness about it. It has no denomination. It's not a religion. It is universal energy being sourced via divine directly through, just like the palms of your hands, the energies of your hands, the hyperosmosis, which create, isn't it funny how God created our feet and our palms of our hands with hyperosmosis? Think about that, our world of Reiki people. So then we go to 44, Family Feud. So this one hurts a lot of people, especially with the different political views. The Family Feud. People are getting very diverse. They can't think another way. They can't just shut up. They can't just be to themselves. They have to always complain. They have to always. So this is what we call Family Feud. Or somebody remembers something in the family, and in that family unit, they turn it around and they're like, oh no, well, you didn't see this perspective. You didn't see this interpretation. This is what I took out of it. And now you start seeing why there's dysfunction, because what you interpreted and what they interpreted is causing this family feud. Maybe you guys are speaking alike, but you just can't hear, you just can't hear like it going forward. Thank you, Terry. So that is the family feud, balancing within our own units, trying to figure out how diverse somebody is, why they're diverse, right? So we go through all of this, and it's just one of those things that I think people should go back and read that one, because there's still a lot of family feuds going on. There's still a lot of husbands and wives and children's of, some children are not even like in the realm of what we as a family unit had as morals or as communities, like people of the community to serve others. So sometimes when this happens, it gets a little wonky. So that's called Family Feud. That's number 44. That's an angel number. So that's an important one right there. And then we go to 45. How important is massage? So on how important is massage, that was Miss Becca. And she came in to explain different types of massages. Reverend Rebecca Gutierrez was my massage therapist and shaman healer, and she did a lot of different. She's so ornate with her certificates and different denominations and in different sets of healing that she uses them. She's so eclectic that it is it's a whirlwind massage. It is, you're not going in for an hour. She will not watch that clock. I know she works at Equinox where she kind of has to now, but if you get her as a private one-on-one in her own domain and not in a public setting, it's amazing. It's amazing to feel her energy, and it's an amazing experience that she sets you up for the journey so that she can take you. And I believe that massage removes stagnant energies of our joints. It removes lymphatic drainages that keep us on a high fluidity aspect. So there's a whole bunch of different importance of massages. And I always tell people are like, oh, I don't like people touching me. Okay, so how do you get the fascia out of your muscle? Answer that. How is it that you can do that? It's hard. You would have to massage yourself. You would have to get into your lymphatics. You would have to know how to run the lymphatic line. You're going to have to learn a lot. And sometimes you can't reach those joints in your back. You can't reach those rib things because you're just not there. So I, for one, am a big fan of massages. I, for one, you can call me a massager. I don't care. I like it because when I do energetic works, the energies have to come out of my body. And so I'm a big fan of you people of massage therapy out there. Shout out to the Lighthouse. I can never just go to Becca Gutierrez or Healing Miami because I can never remember her light box shop or lighthouse. I'm sorry, Becca, I butchered it. But then we have here where I am now, I found Sound Vitality. Now they do massage with sound inversion. Well, I never experienced that where they literally use different sounds inside the muscle to release that energy. And have you ever been to a masseuse where they're so hard trying to get that energy out? You're like, oh my God. And you come home with all these muscles. You know why? Because it wasn't that they were so hard, is that you're tensing up because it hurts. So a little voice here would say, I don't want to go home sore. Let me try to relax this muscle. Thank you so much for, being patient with me. I just need to relax these muscles. So be aware, be a wise person. And if it doesn't feel good, we stop because it needs to feel good. It needs to be like, oh my God, thank you. Right. So that's 45. Number 46 is I give you my word. That's a hoppy toppy one. That's really a hard one because I can give you my word. And I watch now because I would used to say, no, I promise. But I can't make a promise when there's other people's free will in front of me. How can I give you my word when I know all these other forces could plausibly play into my word not being then right? So when we say, no, I'm giving you my word, let's really focus on that. Are you really giving me your word? What are we doing? What's happening? So when we do that, we need to think, is there any other energetic source that can get in front of me before I say, I promise I will get this done? Because that promise is that you are in total control. You are going to make it happen. So how many barriers are you going to jump and leap over to make it happen? Be cautious. Choose your words and your functions wisely. Choose them wisely. And that's what that one is about giving your word. And then I had the beautiful Miss Kim, episode number 47. Let's go to Kim's. Miss Kim is a light therapy teacher. She teaches the Mind Power Center. She's also a beautiful Akashics meditated guide who takes us into our Akashic records. She's beautiful with that. She also is pattern releasing. So give her a call. Just go on any social media at Going to Kim's. You can get her on Zoom to speak with you. She is a Reiki master. She does teach Reiki mastery as well as the light therapy symbols beyond the Reikis. And she also teaches pendulum 1 and 2 and all of the chakras. And those chakra classes are intense. So if you are somebody who doesn't necessarily want to go through the 12 steps of light, into the Mind Power Centers, I encourage you at least to take the chakras. I know she does the chakras online because there's no attunement into the palm. So, and her chakra classes are extremely healing. You can ask anybody who's taken them. It is an in-depth chakra from everything you can imagine, frequencies, names, what it means, how to declare, how becoming of those frequencies. Are they inner child? Are they past life? Where are they at? So all of these fix our chakras, understanding our chakras so that when we go through events in our life, we take those events and then we modify those events because we already know how to heal within the chakra. That is Miss Kim at Let's Go to Kim's. That was episode number 47. Thank you, Miss Kim, as always. We go to number 48, episode number 48, 30 Days of Honoring. I believe we were right here, almost at this time frame, this right here, this time frame of May, and we have our memorials, and it is this 30 days of honoring, 30 days of honoring. It is a month. So we talked about how many people get honored. Cancer societies have October. Military have the month of May, right? So these are a very big honoring. We're also honoring that this is our 250th year this year, in 2026. And I think in that episode, we even talked about honoring our nation. So it is all different ways of how to honor, and a 30-day cycle of honoring everybody in those periods throughout the month of those 30-day cycles. That was number 48. Number 49, episode number 45. How far-sighted are you? How far-sighted? So when we always look so far ahead, there's too many other inversions that can distract us. It is called living in the moment, living in the present, living in the now. We can't live in the past. It's over. We can't correct it. We can only apologize for it and move forward. If there is any way, shape, or form, I can correct it. Okay, well then correct it. Make it good. If you did pay somebody money and you need to pay somebody money, you make good, right? So how far-sighted are you? We're not looking so far. We're looking near. When you're far-sighted, you can't see things that are right up close to you. When you're nearsighted, you can see the future. You can see things coming, right? So being farsighted, right? You're not even facing reality that's right here in front of your face. You're too distracted behind and forward. You're not looking at the moment. We need to step back in. We need to look at the moment. We need to figure out, how are we balanced all the way around at this time? Is everything okay according to Buddhism, right? Is everything okay? So if we're not, where do we have to fix it? There's things in my life that I know are imbalanced, and to try to process, and you're aware. Now, if the first thing is becoming aware, and now that you're aware, now it faces the heartstrings, especially for my decisions, right? So these are the things. These are right here, right in my face. And my heart doesn't want to tip the apple cart anymore than it is. So what did I do? I step back. I process. I am more than aware. I just don't know how to process it without hurting other people's feelings. So that means shut it until the opportune moment, right? Here's a big Johnny Depp or the Caribbean, Pirates of the Caribbean, the opportune moment. So the opportune moment has not arrived quite yet. For me, maybe for you, it has. So this is where things that are right here in our face, and we're like, I have no words. I don't have any words. I don't have any words, because my words are going to be ugly. My words are not going to help fix it. So know who you are. Know, like I know those words. Why? Because there's still an unhealed part of me that wants that authoritative Capricorn, I dare you to touch that block on my shoulder. She's still there. Why? How many years? Because different events pull us in different strings. Seeing in front of our face, understanding what to do, understanding how to do it. So, okay, that was 49. Now we get to another beautiful healer. I had beautiful healers on episode number 50, Therapeutic Hands of Gemma Lopez. Gemma is a doctor of physical therapy. She has decided that she wants to do more breast cancer oncology work, or more feminine energy work, to help alleviate. A lot of people don't believe that they need a physical therapist after their breast augmentations or any part of cancers where you have to go through chemos. You have to open up those lymphatics. You have to get those muscles moving, especially if they're in the breast areas, because that contracts your arms, your muscles, your shoulders. All these things can get very stiff on you. And she is a spiritualist as well. And she has the beautiful gifts of God to almost like an x-ray machine to see through the body. It is incredible. Like even my husband, the VA operated twice on the back of my husband, twice, still in absolute pain. And I said, Gemma, I'm without words. I know they're fixing something that is not the issue. Within 30 minutes, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person with her beautiful gifts of God and her knowledge of the body from her studies in the combination of joining all of this information together, she looks right at him and she goes, because you don't have a back issue, you have a pelvic floor issue, which is on the rare side for men. But I believe that they're finding that some of these men who are on boats who do this, right? Anybody who does this on a normal basis, even in the tractors, right? You're sitting and you're constantly moving your hips all the way around. So when you stop doing it, you become this frail. This is what we were talking about. These captains, like these beautiful captains who retire from the sea, who've been on the sea and their hips are like this constantly. And now they're just this. Their muscles are like, oh. So that was where Gemma came in to say, yeah, this is some of the problems that our bodies go through and how she explained it. So thank you, Gemma. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're such a beautiful soul, and you can get her online as well. She is in Homestead, her office. So if you are in South Florida and you need somebody to look through your body for energy or physical healing, both physical, metaphysical, she is beautiful, beautiful to do that. So we can move now to episode number 51. It is our emotional support system. Our emotional support system. This one's a little deep. Who is your emotional support system? Do you have a wall? Does your wall talk back? I'm not asking you to talk back. I just need to speak, right? Or do you talk to yourself? Which one do we do? Where does this rely? Do we listen to ourselves? Do we listen to people within our realm? Where is our emotional support system? How do we heal our own emotions? Do we just do physical pains? Do we just do physical attributes of the mental anguish? Or do we do the metaphysical to the physicals? And that way we're aligning across the board with all of our chakras, all of our mind centers, and us moving forward within our journey of our life purpose. So that's a beautiful one as well. Number 52 is the force of personality. So we talked right in the beginning about personality matrix. And this one is the force of personality. So when somebody has a very forceful personality, right? Sometimes that person they're speaking to is either going to back away going, whoa, right? That's way too demanding. That's way too authoritative. That's way over the edge, right? Or there you have somebody who is like a guidance, right? So that force of personality is like, I'm telling you this because I love you. That's a forcefulness, right? Sometimes you get carried away and that voice rises because we're anxious, or that voice rises because we're so passionate. But somebody else doesn't see it that way. So the force of personality, it moves us by man to force an ideology, forces us our morals. It forces us, right? Think about a child, where we come up with our personalities. Our personalities, we talked about these over and over again. Our personalities are created by man. Man. It's always by man. Man. So man forces us to react one way. In every state, there is a forced personality. There is a forced conviction of morals and righteousness and how we're going to be. Are we progressive? Are we going to be conservative? Are we going to be liberal? Believe it or not, you put your kids in those schools. Believe it or not, you put yourself as a child being born in that state. Believe it or not, we all do this. It's nothing that we can do anything else besides become aware and remove the patterns that influenced us. So you youngers out there who go, oh, you want to blame millennials, but yeah, guess who taught us? That is the biggest cop-out I ever heard in my entire life. You people, if you say those types of things, you really need some healing, or you need to grow up, depending on how old you are. But if you are in your 20s and your 30s and you're still blaming your parents, maybe it's time to seek out counseling, because you had to take your part. We all have to take our part. I took my part. My parents said, don't do it. I did it. Well, that's my part. Of course, your parents are going to get mad because They're your parent. They're trying to explain to you the rules of life, and you are going around. And so who gets in trouble now in some of these school districts in these different states? The parents. Again. But the parents not allowed to correct them because we took away physical punishment. We took away emotional punishment. We took away different things to how that you're supposed to raise your kid. So this is a big one. This is really a big one, right? The force of personality forces you, and maybe that's not who you were. I was forced to be who I was. I had a very authoritative father, and he was going to make a perfect citizen for people. He didn't want a citizen who was going to run amok in the town. He had no idea who I was or where I was going to be as a child or my brothers or sisters, but he enforced the morals. He enforced the consciousness. He enforced positive. He enforced honesty and truths. He enforced them. Now, enforcing them in the 60s and 70s was usually by your hand, by a stick, by a whip, by a belt, by a whatever. Let's not forget that. So excessive, yes. It's that force of personality that's going to condition you to do it. Military does the same thing. The military training, especially if you are in one of the, the securities or the mobility task force or a Green Beret or a Delta Force, you're going to learn the force of personality very quickly. And now we have to undo that, not to carry it through. So that was number 52, the force of personality. Number 53, we mentioned this. Why, moon, why? Oh, I love the moon. The moon is so beautiful. And the moon carries us through energetic learning events. The moon carries us through abundances. The moon carries us through love. It carries us through strife. It carries us through different events of emotion that we can learn. When we open up our mind and gauge it around the moon's energy and what it's trying to tell us and what it's trying to become aware and what it is that we that we could be looking for in ourselves and others to service others and say, ooh, this is just the moon. Don't worry. It's going to be over. Face this event. Face it. Let's go. I'll help you face this event. So this is a little bit why I love the moon, because every 2 weeks you have a different energy approaching, a different energy to learn, and a different energy that's going to affect how people react to different words, phrases, actions, events. So these all play force. I love to pondering because I'm a why girl. So for me, when I see the moons, the news, the fools, whatever, I get giddy like a little kid going, ooh, where's it going to go? What chakra is it going to go? Who's my new deity of prayer, right? Who's going to come in to assist with some of this energy? And the new moons, I love the new moons because the new moons are always about an abundance of receiving, and that you did the work. You did the work in the full moon, which was always kind of a catastrophe. New moons can be a little bit of a catastrophe. People goes, no, the new moons are good moons. They are. Learning is good. So you never have to be in that learning lesson again. So don't misunderstand my words about, abundance. Abundance of a new moon is always about receiving a new birth, and it's a new thing. And sometimes when we have to do it, there's pain involved. Women, you know what I'm talking about, birthing. So the physical concept, but there's also the metaphysical concepts of rebirthing in religions, or rebirthing, a business, or birthing a new home or a new car. Sometimes it can be very troublesome. It can have these ups and downs and quirks. So the moon will tell you, be careful of these little quirks. You're getting into the grandeur, but look out to these little hurdles, right? Or call it Ganesha. He's just a big old elephant that just plows all your borders. Ganesha, right? Ganapate. That's who I call in, because I don't like barriers. I don't like borders. And if I face one too many, it's not the right path at that time. I have to come back. But I will leave it for a time. That way I can come back. Does that make sense? So knowing that you have a struggle, and there's a struggle, in the old paradigm of MJ, my parents taught me, push through adversity, push through it. Don't stop, right? Don't ever quit. That was my coach, my dad. Don't you quit. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Don't you quit. My mature mind in this 2026, not 1970, my mind today is, oof, this is the third time I got to push back on this path that I want to go down. MJ don't do pushbacks. MJ comes back because I learned patience. Why is this giving me so much trouble? Is there another interpretation? Is there another path that will lead the same way without all the conjecture? Is there another path that I could take? So this is where the mind game comes in going, let me step back. Or maybe it's not the opportune moment, the most opportune moment. When I was devastated about not having a house, I sold my house, and the house that we were supposed to move to 2 weeks before closing canceled. Panic. What the hell am I doing with 252 truckloads of stuff? Where am I going to go? There was an overwhelming, I have faith, but that ego and that judgment of the physical kept wanting to blind my faith. It was a trying time because there was so much uncertainties. Ganapataya, just clear the boundaries. And then when I got this property in this house, oh my gosh, within 2 weeks. No, did we see it? We closed it. We did 2 weeks, done. Time. Divine will always lead you in the path that you build out for you, even if we take a road off the beaten path. If we fight the road off the beaten path, now we're learning a whole bunch of other things that go along with just saving the time to get to where we need to be. Does that make sense? So that is conscious positive, always looking at a higher awareness. Number 54. Number 55, what is pain body? So Eckhart Tolle, I tried to touch on, do we have pain body or mind body? Where's our pain? What is our pain? Is our pain in our head? We talked a lot about Eckhart Tolle. We talked about Dr. Joe Dispenza, how to take our ailments and we use our own head, our own brain in order to heal that pain body. Dr. Joe Dispenza does an incredible with breath work. Breath work is a lot of it. Practicing breath work was a game changer. And the pain bodies always come in, even with people. Like, I think we talked about having a group. You're going into an event with a group of people, and one of the people who are going to be there knows it's going to hurt your heart. And you know it's going to happen. Or you just know the energy is going to be there. No matter how many times you say, stop calling that in, stop calling it in. And here it is. You don't hear it, but later, a week or so later, somebody else who was there comes back and says, you know what they said, right? This is why this happened. And you're like, am I being played the fool for a reason? Am I being hated for a reason? What did I do to these are the questions you go to that person and saying, I don't know what your problem is, but I don't like it. And for the life of everything here. And that's easier said than done. I'll tell you right now, that is easier said than done. I still haven't done it. Because I know. You ever play Tiddlywinks where you pull out the straw and the marbles and that big old, and you're like, think, or is that Kerplunk? No. Yeah, it's Kerplunk. Where you pull the straw out in the old game and the marbles, and how many marbles go out. That's how I feel. I feel that I'm going to pull this and it's just going to sever. Knowing the people, they would rather sever than have any issue because they're not coming back to live it. They don't want to. So I believe there will be the opportune moment and the perfect time at some point to heal. If I have nothing nice to say that comes out of my mouth, I will not speak it. I just won't go. I'll say my truth. No, if you ask, I'll tell you. But it hurt. And when it hurts, we back up, right? Human nature. I don't know why you hurt me. I don't know why you're on this thing. I don't know what I did to offend you. What's my part? What did I do to deserve this? Please tell me so I could apologize profusely, because I just didn't know. Conscious positive. Why the pain body? Now we go to the aftershock. The aftershock is any type of emotional, mental, physical disaster that can happen within us and that can happen within the world. It's the aftershock. It is the awareness and the awakening that nobody saw coming. Nobody saw coming because it wasn't on their mind. But then, however, it flashes to be on your mind, now is what happened. It's like a death. It truly is like a death. And I lost my dog Dixie. The aftershock of losing my healer, my support therapy, my emotional therapy, my dog that I used to take in the hospitals for kids, for PTSD vets, the dog that could read people who had the highest emotional distraughtness and would go and lick them. That hurt. That was an aftershock. That you don't know how important. And then your ego, because your ego wants to make you suffer, your ego's like, well, you remember when you did that to her? Don't you feel guilty? You remember when you're like, oh my God, like, oh my gosh, it was pain body, right? In the mind, in the heart. That was for me. And she lived she was almost 14. She was 7 days shy of 14. And what a miracle dog. So sometimes the aftershocks can still hurt. Sometimes the aftershocks are, you have to swallow. Sometimes the aftershocks can make you just laugh. Because you're out of emotions, and so you laugh. You smile, and you're like, what is this? So ask yourself in the aftershock, are you okay? And how does this affect me? Is it my heart because of attachment? Is it a fear of my life because something else happened? The aftershock. The 56 goes through different wells to figure out how that aftershock plays within our body, our energy cycles. Yeah. So then we go to meditations. Oh, I love this one too. So number 57 was about meditation. And meditation is an awesome one. And meditation goes into different forms. How are we going to meditate? Are we going to meditate with music? Are we going to meditate with a guided meditation to take us down? Are we going to own the vibration, right? Are we going to be in sound meditation? Are we going to be in grounding meditation? What meditation? So we spoke about different meditations and why meditation is so important. It can even give us energy throughout the day. If you just take 5 minutes to meditate, it'll give you that extreme emotion of shutting everything down, relaxing the cells in the mind in order to refuel them. And then we go again. Number 57, meditation. We go into 58, the spirit in sports. Woo, I remember this one. The spirit in sports. The spirit in the sports is so fun. Because we as fans, I know Penn State, as far as football, I don't watch NFL, and the New Jersey Devils in hockey, they are just, I love them. I love them and you're happy, right? So we also think about the upset fan in the seat. So if a player made a bad move and the fans are booing the player, you're squishing their vibration. Think about yourself because you missed a pass of a football or you missed, the net and, so the spirit of sports is very important to those players on the field. Remember that because it's okay. It's okay. You got this. Keep that encouragement to those athletes because it's the encouragement and the love that you bring them. And that is the spirit in the sports. They love you. They love their fans because they encourage it. There is nothing more if you've never been to a college football stadium as big as Penn State, Texas. There's a couple of them. You go to the school, I don't care what you choose as your major, you're going to the football games because there's so much fun and there's so much loyalty and so much sport fans around that you are part of 50,000 people being all the same and singing and doing the chants, doing the cheers. It is just heartfelt. There's something that energizes within our soul. Even if our team loses, it's okay. Because we're here to support each other because we lost together. That's the spirit in sports. I love that show. That was number 58. I had my, I think I had both Penn State and Devils on the same time. I don't know. I have to go back and look at that one. And so then we go to number 59. Where have you been? Number 59. Where have you been? So if anybody knows me after 2 years by now, yes, there's sometimes MJ has to take a hiatus. And until I can actually get my brain to focus and stop swelling, then I can actually come back and I can speak. So where have you been was I had a hiatus. Obviously something with my disabilities had come up and I had to step out for a little bit. And that was that show explaining yet again why I was out and not being able to come to you beautiful people on a weekly basis. Then we go to number 60, the know-it-all. Oh, I love those. The know-it. You know these people. You can say something. Saturday Night Live used to have a skit. She always had, but she was always better. Or she always knew something smarter, right? So we know people in our families. We know people in our friends. We know people who are acquaintances. And sometimes they just, it's too much. They need to understand that they don't need to have the world. They're not Sheldon Cooper. Not everybody's a Sheldon Cooper. We don't need to hear, you don't have to give your piece of information all the time. And that's that one. So that one's a cutback. And then we have number 61. That's another good one. Just a cup of water. How important is water? And not just to our body, but to the earth. How water is memory consciousness. So the physicists out there and the people who are big science, they are realizing just how important a drop of water, forget a cup of water, a drop of water. So our memories, our health, it's imperative. We are 70% water. Haven't you ever seen somebody who was sweating so much and all of a sudden their hands are crippling? Like yesterday, I was sweating so much and I was drinking, but I still got myself dehydrated. I think that because my body is so I drink so much water that when I don't have that much water, it automatically goes, hey, what are you doing? And so, yeah, between the sweating and the working and then the cramping came, I needed a cup of water. It is imperative. It helps your heart. It helps your mind, and it helps the energy of the body. And it also has beautiful water memory. And we have that water consciousness in that theory. So we went from the physical to the metaphysical, and we discussed everything about a cup of water and how important that is. Whew. Almost there. So then we go to 62, religion, spirituality, and consciousness. It is what it is. These are your building blocks. So we go from a religion, then we go into spirituality, and then we go into the highest of consciousness. And so these are the building blocks that we all like to take if you're on the journey of positive consciousness to the highest level, which is like a 12. I think Christ is 12, God is 13. So highest man, maybe 11 in that levels. So we energize into trying to stay in that positive consciousness no matter what. And so this is why we do the show, because we're trying to fill all these little gaps that cause our ego and our judgments to step back, just step them back. And this is what this is about. Number 63 is holiday story time. It was a fun thing where Did you really know about the stories of Christmas? I don't know, but I read them. I really didn't. I had so much going on that I just wanted to go out there with a little holiday cheer and explain the stories. Then we go to number 64. And at most people, they start the addictions come back during holiday time. So we did 64 was addictions. What are addictions? How are addictions started? Most of it, as we found out during that show, it comes from our own seeds within us. Comes from either our genes, it comes from stress, it comes from trauma, it comes from events that we just want to no longer face. And so we discussed that in number 64. And then we had our beautiful 2026. It became a brand new year. And we did 65 addictions part 2. This was the metaphysical side of the addictions. So number 65 was part 2 of addictions, because it was really important. And it was really to help our vets who become very addicted to either nicotines or alcohols. And I found that if you're curing the physical, you need to cure the metaphysical as well. So it was a 2-part show. Then we go to 66, snowbird season. That's right, snowbird season. So I took off to be a snowbird. I had my last try to. So I went and bought Starlink, a mobile one. And then I went and bought all this stuff to be mobile so I could do my show. And it didn't turn out that way. And unfortunately, that just that one in North Carolina blew out so many things, and the show just, I don't even think there was an ending to the show. I think it just cut off because we blew up the circuitries of the spa centers and the trailer. It was just woo. Then we just go, okay, well, we're not going to fight it. It just is what it is. Then we go to number 67 when I came back, or I could get to a video, because yes, MJ had another outburst of her beautiful disability of the military. And I didn't get back until April to be with you all. But in April, we did balance, alignment, and making peace within ourselves. When we do that, we just have to honor what happened, and understand that in the next time that this event comes out, we're not going to do that again. Right? That's honoring, that's balancing, and just making peace within ourselves. Number 68 is balance, compassion, and rebirth. So when we have balance and we have compassion, then we can rebirth ourselves into whatever it is. I told you, MJ was not the same MJ as she was at 28. And 28, I started this journey. I was not so happy. I was not so pleasing. I was very in your face that there was issues. And so I was very totalitarian. I was very authoritative. And I had to learn this. So this is balance, compassion, and rebirthing into something that I am proud of, and something that you'd be proud of. You went through the journeys to let go that things that they don't mean anything to anybody in this world except for you. And if they are that important for you, then fix it. That's where that is. So then we go to number 69, moving through the world's energy. That's a tough one, right? Having to balance the traumas around the world right now, how to balance these events, not your emotional explanations of, I hate. Boy, there's a lot of hate. That's going to be my next one. It's a hate. What is this hate? There's so much hate. So that will be number 70, 74. It's all about hate. Why? What is the word hate? So we're going to do that one on number 74, but shh, don't tell anybody. Then we move to number 70, love of our country. This one was sought out by my mom, because as she matures in life, she sees things in a different perspective. 85 years ago, there was a huge honored energy in the United States, blessing the United States. God, God give the land, God gave us, and there was so much USA. Now, not today. Not today. And she's talking about even soldiers, what they did and how they did it, and why don't they love the country? Even as a soldier, why did they change their perspective? What has happened to them? Is it because they're being singled out within their own state and their own peer pressure and their own conscious pressures? This is stuff that you have to figure out. But that is the love of our country. Number 1 is trust, truth, and the return to self. Trust, truth, and return to self. This is why people may fabricate things. This is why people don't necessarily like to tell the truth. It's the energies of why. It's the energies of where we came from as children, right? If you were in my genre, then you know that even when you told the truth, you still got beat. You still got punished. So, right. So the child grew up, the Gen Xers grew up just, okay, well, I know these are pair glasses, but I'm just going to say that they are clown glasses. They're not for reading for whatever reason. So we learn to manipulate the truth, which is not good. So that's what that show was about and where we learned that from. And then we go to number 72. Are You My Mother? It was a Mother's Day celebration that I was honored and I wanted to do. And that was awesome. And here we are. Woo! That was all in 1 year, our second year. We're on our third year and we're starting it here with our third year. And I am so thankful and I am so grateful with grace and humility and honor to be right here on Military Broadcast Radio. And I was honored to be accepted into the program. And I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying giving my couple of hours a week of some free advice, some free perspectives, and to be service to others. That's who I am. I am a service to other person. And this is a way of me giving back to my brothers and sisters of arms and whoever else is wanting to listen on this beautiful mbradio.us station. So we're going to take another break. Let's hope that I can get back in. I might not be able to play that closure again, but I'm going to try. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to try to, we're on this break, to reset my system and see how everything plays out and go from there. We'll see you in a minute. You're listening to MJ here at the World of Conscious Positive Thinking every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Peace, love, light. Let your soul arise.
Wake up, beautiful child of the sun. Your journey of truth has already begun.
Thoughts are the seeds, so plant them kind.
The garden of heaven lives in your mind.
Tune into the light, let your spirit sing. Feel the love in everything. Vibes are high, the veil is thin. The universe is pulsing within. Open hearts and third eyesight. Tune into the light.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, it works! Yay, I got a bumper back. Stick with me, folks. I learned something. Okay, this is what I love. I love. This is moon time. This is my special gift to you. We're going to talk about the May Taurus new moon seminaring. Here we go. Today, we're going to gather with the energy of the Taurus new moon. It's a sacred doorway into stabilization, manifestation, embodiment, and conscious creation. In astrology, a new moon marks a beginning of a lunar cycle. In spirituality, it is a karmic reset point. Energetically, it is that where the unseen begins preparing life to become seen. Woo. I hope that sounded right. Energetically, it's where the unusual, unseen begins preparing itself to become seen. Okay, this Taurus new moon carries Earth frequency. MJ, what is Earth frequency? Well, I'm glad you asked because a lot of people go, what the heck are you talking about? So when we talk about Earth's energy, that frequency is 7.83 hertz. It equals 0.000073 megahertz. It's really small, but it's exceptionally low, whereas the megahertz represents the millions of cycles per second. How do we get the hertz? It's by the rotation of how the energy of the earth goes around. So if you're looking for things that operate in an actual megahertz range, but share similar pulses, concepts, or biological connections, here's a comparison. So your short airwaves or your short radio waves, they're 3 megahertz or up to 30 megahertz. The similarities are beautiful. The brainwave energy of the equipment needs to be approximately a 0.5 hertz to a 2 megahertz. And then your pulsed electromagnetic fields are also by PMF devices when you can set them to 7.83 hertz as well. When we speak in the terms of spiritualness, we go into like 174s. That is grounding frequencies as we continue to move down the chain of that unwavering, what's the word I want to use there? It's that. It would be of that. So as we listen to the earth frequencies, ask humanity to slow down enough to hear the soul again. You need to slow it down. Things don't need to be like this. Yes, the earth sped up. Yes, we understand that the tilt of the earth. And yes, we understand that, our manual clocks are always behind a comparison to our phone clocks. Why? Because one's analog and one's digital. So, yep, you constantly have to be fixing those manual clocks if you still have them. So understanding the Taurus energy, new moon in Taurus, is not fast moving energy. It's very fertile energy. Taurus governs. I'm just going to tell you, astrology and Taurus, that energy of Taurus, it is governs the physical body, security, self-worth, finances, food and nourishment, sensuality, nature, stability, the nervous system, sacred patience, and material manifestation. Taurus energy has that list. If anything in that list that you are now going through, then that's going to precede this energy to put you in that event. Does that make sense now? So this moon asks us, what are you truly building your life upon? Not fantasy, not fear, not survival mode. Taurus asks us, creating this foundations strong enough to sustain a peace within that list of this energy, right? So as we have our spiritual frequencies of Taurus in the new moon, energetically, that Taurus vibration, right, at that lower and that steadier rhythm, right? So it's slow, it's steady, so it's pulsing. It would be like listening to somebody's pulse when they're asleep. It's very slow. It's very calming. So energetically, Taurus vibrates at a lower, steadier rhythm than fire or air signs. Spiritually, this lowers the frequency and is not weakness. It's an anchoring power. So the new moon in Taurus supports grounded manifestation, nervous system healing. Woo, do you see a connection? Do you see why they call it the Taurus moon? Rebuilding trust in your life, reconnecting to Earth's energy, releasing scarcity consciousness, opening the heart to receiving, creating sustainable abundance, and embodying spiritual wisdom physically. This is not manifestation through force. This is manifestation through resonance. You hear me talk about Schumann's resonance a lot. The powers and the energies of Schumann's resonance, which is the heartbeat of the earth, allows us to know where the fields are that we need to either improve, or we feel that energetic connection of practicing to align and balance, right? So it's not a manifestation that is forcing you to do it. It's going to be in your face. Hello, hello, here I am. Here I am. Are you on any of this list? I tell you before moons, when we did why moon, why, right? Sometimes people go through moons going, I don't feel anything. Because you had nothing to learn in that event. You had nothing to learn in that energy. That energy did not belong to you at this time, at this moment. Does that make sense? Okay. So what is the Taurus new moon teaching us? What you consistently nourish grows. What you consistently nourish grows. Isn't that appropriate? Especially right now in May, when everybody plants, in the north, they always have their flowers, they're planting their gardens. When you consistently nourish, it grows. I love it. So the chakra activation during the new moon. So our chakra is our root chakra. So this new moon in Taurus is all about our roots, right? Grinding, growing in from earth. So that becomes highly activated during this Taurus energy. These themes include, if you're looking at that aspect, financial fears, housing concerns, physical survival, stability, family patterns, and feeling safe in the body. Many people may experience in this, when they go through these, their physicals are fatigued. They have lower back tightness or pain. They have digestive shifts and issues. There are sleep disturbances and anxieties about the future. This is how this energy may affect if any of those other themes are part of what we are trying to balance or what we are trying to align with. It's giving Mother Earth and God are giving us this energy to say, here you go. I'm going to give it to you again, because everything comes in cycles. Do you have anything to clear? And if you do, I'm here for you. Get the courage, drop the fear, and just move it. So spiritually, this moon asks us, can you feel safe without controlling everything? Woo! As a Capricorn, we're controllers, right? We're in that matrix that we tried to break all those down. So if you're in that personality matrix, the controller, this moon's here for us to help us understand not everybody needs control. Does that make sense? Okay. Then we move on to the heart chakra, because this is part of the heart chakra. Receiving love. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Woo! The frequency of love, beauty, value, and receptivity. Beautiful, beautiful energy. That activates our heart chakra, one of my favorite chakras. Emotional themes for this may include, in this energy, fear of intimacy, feeling unseen, difficulty receiving support, self-worth wounds. Are we sabotaging ourselves? Are we calling ourselves stupid? Right? Oh my God, how stupid can I be? You're sabotaging you. You are, right? How could I be so damn forgetful? Constantly putting it down. You're taking that bridge and you're putting self down. Turn those words around. Wow, time goes so far that, yeah, that did happen. I apologize. I wasn't there. What's going on? Not, God, how stupid can I be? No. Words, tones, even to us, they're very personal, right? So the Taurus new moon asks us to stop chasing love externally and begin embodying it eternally, because you still go through old relationship griefs, right? I'm sure that there's skeletons of relationships in the closet that we haven't healed. Like, he cheated on me. So every time you turn around, he cheated on me. That's your excuse? Get off of it. Or she cheated on me. Get off of it. You had a choice. You made your choice to move forward. If that is no longer capable, then make a decision. But don't keep reminding somebody of a failure. Don't keep reminding somebody of a mistake, or keep reminding of somebody, because now you're judging. You already went through the trauma. Let it go. So that's old relationship griefs, right? No matter what it is. Well, he hurt me, or whatever. He, she, what? We all have to go through these things. Learning unconditional self-love. Love you first. All of you. In the beginning, I always say, I love me. It's a self-aligning. In my very first year, I even said, I had a hard time loving myself. I didn't want my pictures. Why? Because of my yellow tooth. Because I have a big scar going like this across my face. I didn't like, I was very self-conscious of it, because no matter where you go, there's always a small child to remind you, why do you have a yellow tooth? How come your tooth's yellow? Didn't you brush your teeth? Yes, I do. I just have a fear of dentists to go fix it. And I have to stop that fear of dentistry. And the fear of dentistry came from where? Inner child trauma. I had a dentist that our parents took us to, who was supposed to be a great dentist, never used Novocaine, So anytime you had a feeling, you were feeling it. Anytime you had anything, you were feeling it. So the only time you use Novocaine is when you wanted to pull your teeth. God forbid, or a crown, right? Well, thank you. Thank you. So that is why the new moons ask you to begin embodying it internally so you can explode it externally and get rid of it. So then we have the throat chakra. This is very important. If you don't speak it, they don't know, right? And I understand some of our philosophy. This is even mine. I didn't speak while I was so traumatized or I was so hurt to family and friends. I just walked away. I don't go back. I get invited. I don't go. The awareness then becomes a reality. Where is my throat chakra? Why is my speaking of value? Right. So Taurus governs that throat. So I don't know, maybe in this, there's something here in this season that maybe I'll be able to honor my throat. You know, I did some of that here recently this past week, actually last week. I opened up my throat chakra to, of my discernment, of my hurt, of my heart, of events. I did some of that. And I understand that the person I was talking to, she was remorseful. She was, she understood. You can't fix, if you're not part of a solution, you can't really fix it for the other person. You can just be a wall to listen. And yes, friends, family do hurt us. And I don't think they even aware how emotionally and heart it hurt, especially if you don't use your throat chakra to speak up. But then you would look at it going, but some people tell you it's not for you to speak up. Some people tell you that it's not necessary. Some people tell you, it's okay. Throat chakra. Throat chakra may reveal in this energy, or the throat chakra in itself. The throat chakra in itself is spirit speaking truth, over silencing, emotional suppression, difficulty asking for needs, and fear of rejection. That's what the throat chakra. Now, in this particular moon, the Taurus moon, this powerful moon for our throat is singing, because it's a Venus in love, right? So we're singing, we're chanting, we're doing mantras, public speaking. Here we are. This is all good energy pushing forward in this moon. Honest conversations. I was just honest about my personal life. Intentional prayer. We're going to get to that. So this energy of this moon. Words become seeds under this moon. Listen to that. Words become seeds in this moon. I'm going to stop there. You need to see that again. Words become seeds under this moon. If your words are positive, if they're strengthful, if they have divine goodness, you will flourish like no tomorrow in whatever abundance you are seeking. If your words in this moon are anger, resentment, distasteful, dishonest, unloyal, just on a negative aspect, this moon is going to teach us a very big lesson. So speak carefully, speak lovingly, and speak clearly. They're my 3 suggestions for this moon. The emotional strains during the new moon, every new moon creates pressure between releasing an old paradigm and trusting the new unknown. It's trusting that unknown. Truth, trust, and where's that show? Here we are. So the Taurus new moon, especially, it magnifies resistance of change, fear of financial instability, attachment to comfort zones that are not comfortable for you, emotional stubbornness, exhaustion over overgiving. Have you ever overgave and you're like, I'm just done. I'm just done. When I decided that I was going to retire, I looked at my life. I have been a service to other person for so long. Business-wise, tourism, hospitality. I have always been service to others. So it became an exhaustion. Time for me to retire from that and find another way outside of public eye that I could be service to others and not get so exhausted. Hence the 2 years of this show that I give freely every Monday. See how well I did that? You can do the same thing. You figure it out, you process it, you become aware of it, and now you look for the interpretational radio that's going to best help you. So, feeling spiritually disconnected from the body. Wow, where's our faith? Where's our faith? Where's our faith mind power center? Off that pituitary. Faith. We have to have that faith. Grief connected to security and relationships. This new moon fell on the 16th of May. 16th of May is my father's birthday in heaven. He, boy, how old would he have been? If my mom was 80, so he had been 87. He would have been 87. Well, Daddy, happy heavenly birthday on your beautiful Taurus energy moon. We feel you. So thank you. Some people may suddenly feel emotional heaviness without understanding why. Right? Right there. Was that emotional? Yeah. Because I was remembering my dad on that particular day. That was his birthday. So sometimes that emotion can flare up. Had I healed it? Yes. Thank you. So I can go in this moon and I can smile with this abundance because I've healed these things. Sometimes when they're not healed, this is the devastation that can cause, especially in energetic moon patterns. So some people just may suddenly feel emotional heaviness and without understanding why. This occurs because Taurus energy pulls that unresolved emotion right out of this nervous system. And then that awareness goes right into the heart. And then the emotion comes. And now it's time for healing. Then we can heal all of this, right? The body remembers what the mind suppresses. And where do we put it? In our solar plexus, in our breadbasket, our solar plexus. They're like the skeletons in those closets, and they just go right on in. New beginnings emerging under the moon. The new moon always supports physical new beginnings. New moon always supports physical new beginnings, new homes, new career foundations, new business launches, new financial plannings, new health routines, new weight loss programs, new healing practices, new gardening and lands to grow beautiful new plants. They're all birthing, right? The spiritual of new beginnings is rebuilding our self-worth. I love me. I love me for all of it. I love my yellow tooth. I love my scars. I love my hair turning gray. These things that people think are vanity, these are no longer in my realm. Why? Because I am rebuilding my self-worth. I am creating that healthier relationship that I have with myself. I'm learning to receive that love and that awareness of full grace and humility. I am embodying this peace. I am deepening my intuitions, and I'm aligning spirit with my daily life. My emotionals for Taurus of this new beginnings, forgiveness. Forgiveness is divine. Nervous system regulation. Are we getting enough sleep? Are we getting away from things that distract us? Are we resolving into a quieter mindset? Trusting divine timing. We talked about this. If there's a block and a block and a block, this isn't the right path right now. Step back, have patience. Something else will open. There are people who have mastered that. I've watched them. I'm going to call her Mary Lopez has mastered it. If I could master how she trusts in divine, like I do trust in divine timing, but that Capricorn sometimes will go, okay, let's just take another route. Right? And because I have to keep moving. I'm a move forward person. Like that's why knitting, I think, and crocheting doesn't work for me because I wouldn't put it down to come back to it. I'd be like this, like I was with my granddaughter's blanket. I had to get it done. So I would listen and I would still do it because that mentality that I had to get it done. I'm a finisher. And there's my dad. Quitters never win and winners never quit. I gotta go. See that healing? I'm aware of it. I am consciously aware of it. So how do I bring that piece in? By doing different things, right? Honor it by talking about it slowly. Honor it by saying, nope, I'm allotted this time. And being the allowance, right? Yes, sometimes if you're not a finisher and you watch Sheldon Cooper, Big Bang like I do, you just want to rip your face off. There's so much I can't. You just want to rip it off. So that is trust divine timing, leaving survival mode. The fears of always, that's going to kill me. That leave that go. You're always going to exist. Believing in conscious spirituality and believing in divine and believing that Father, Mother, God put me here has other plans. We will always have a survival mode of our soul. So change the physical to the metaphysical, a surviving of our soul. And then healing ancestral scarcity. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because the family is the unit you never want to shake up. The family is the unit that you always try to keep together. I said always. I know that was like a demand. I don't mean it as a demand, but it is the emotional aspects. It is the ancestral lineage that always has us tied to that we can cut those cords. We can. Is it going to cause a little bit of pain and anguish? Yes. No, going in by doing things, by stepping back from family or not attending family things, or when you're asked and you don't go after numerous times, what's going on? Right? Okay. That's the energy of the new moon. And that's like a really quick, rough version. But if you would come to my moon circles, it's about a 2-3 hour event, and we have a lot of fun. We talk about it. And the next part of our moon would have been our prayer or our mala to what they call demigods or semi-gods, if you believe in the ultimate power of God, and then all these other powers of denominations, religions that call them gods, into the highest power of the Hada, right? And I love Hindu. I love the religion. I liked studying it. I like studying their cultures. So in this energy, and I was looking up on the Hindu calendars with this energy of Taurus being the zodiac, and then what is the new moon energy? That is often isolations of love and power and earth and just being a steadfast stability force. And it's Lakshmi. I'm getting giddy. I love Lakshmi. I love Lakshmi to no end. She's so beautiful. She always sits on her beautiful lotus, and her 2 little flowers are up in her hands. And Lakshmi embodies abundance on a new moon. The abundance embodies beauty, embodies fertility, embodies prosperity, sacred feminine energy, harmony, material and spiritual wealth, and then heart-centered receiving. Taurus energy mirrors Lakshmi's frequencies because both teach prosperity flows where gratitude and alignment exist. I'm going to tell you that again. Lakshmi and Taurus have the same teachings. Prosperity flows when and where gratuity and alignment exist. That's very important for this 2 weeks. Lakshmi is not merely financial abundance. She represents inner richness, emotional fulfillment, soul nourishment, grace, and divine respectivity. Lakshmi Mala mantras for the Taurus moon. So the beautiful mantra, we call these mantras or Mala chants of meditation during the moon. Om Shrim Mahalakshmiya Namaha. So the Om means the divine universal vibration. Shrim, S-H-R-E-E-M, is the sacred abundance frequency. So when we shrim, when we meditate, we Om Shrim, we're asking the abundance of something. So we're asking the divine, right, of Shrim, the abundance of, and then in this case, it is Lakshmi. So Mahalakshmiya is to the greatest god of Lakshmi's energy. And then Namaha is I bow or I namaste or I thank you is as a reverence. So Om Shrim Mahalakshmiya Namaha. And that is the mala that you would do. The mantra is traditionally repeated 108 times. You look at a mala, there's 108 beads, 54 representing male, 54 representing female. It is a continuous circle. Yes, mala beads are prayer beads. They are like a rosary in Christianity. Instead of doing stations, you're actually praying for the consistency through the guru bead that we produce through our heart and our heart here, and then back into our third eye, presenting it forward to Lakshmi. Spirituality, the sound frequency of Shrim, is believed to activate our heart expansion, our receptivity, our prosperity consciousness, and our emotional healing, feminine creational energy. So suggestions that Taurus new moon ritual: create a sacred grounding space for yourself. And you may use green candles during this healing of Taurus. Taurus is all about green. You can use pink candles because pink represents the heart, like unakite. Green and pink together balance the heart through down into the root centers. Fresh flowers are always in abundance. We're here in May. April showers brought May flowers. So flowers are part of Lakshmi. She loves lotuses. So orchids, lotuses, pink flowers, you can use any type really of fresh flowers that are either greens or pinks. Crystals such as rose quartz, jades, emeralds, smoky quartz. These are all beautiful crystals during this time to help that frequency come back in, to hold them in our pockets. Soiling or our plantings, get your hands inside of dirt. I've been doing that. I'm not a gardener, but I have even planted almost all the little bins and basins and my organic herbs and stuff like I dug in the last 3 or 4 days to even help with that. My husband brought to my chair, so I was able to go and do. And then we have a bowl of salt water. So I always have a bowl of salt water in my house, just because it helps allow those frequencies for any type of divine energy or divine soul that needs a little bit of charging or energy to make it beautiful. And then what you just want to do is just want to sit quietly and do your breathing deeply. You want to sit in a meditation style, or you can sit on a chair, place your feet firmly on the floor, or in a meditation pose, a yoga pose. Speak aloud what you are ready to release. Speak loudly. I want this released. Write what you are ready to build. Write what you are ready to manifest into the abundance of. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold these, and then you're going to repeat the Lakshmi mala slowly, and you're going to mantra these things, right? You're going to have your stones, you're going to have your beads, you're going to have your flowers, you're going to have your release letter already written, you're going to have your manifestation letter already written, visualizing the flow of movement coming in through the third eye, slowly going down into our roots, extending into the body, and those roots growing right into earth, and allowing Mother Earth, Jerusa, Gaia, Mama, Pachamama, whatever you call Mother Earth, you are seeing that connection going all the way through. And then we always end with a solidarity of gratitude. Namaste, thank you, amen, and mote it be, So these are just different ways to culture that. And then on my closing, on my Taurus moon, the Taurus moon is not always asking for humanity to rush. It's asking humanity to root. Slowly root yourself in, to stabilize, to soften, to reconnect spirit and body, to create that abundance without abandoning your inner calm space. We don't want that interruption. We want inner calmness. The greatest lesson that this beautiful new moon in Taurus that you can take with you is sustainable growth happens slowly. It's not fast. It's slow, it's loving, and it's intentional. There is no negative attributes into this beautiful new Taurus moon. If there is unhealedness, we release it. We have to release it in order for this beauty to come through. So remember to release what no longer serves the highest good or doesn't serve a purpose for you. And then you come right back in after you release it, and you're now sustainable of growth. And it happens slowly, yet lovingly, with full intention of the right. The soul does not bloom through pressure alone. It blooms through nourishment. Every thing that you stick, every morsel that you stick in your mouth, whether you drink it or you eat it, you always thank God for that to nourish every cell of your body. May this new Taurus moon guide each and every one of you towards stability, healing, aligned prosperity, and sacred new beginnings. I am honored. I am MJ. At the World of Conscious Positive Thinking, we do our best on a daily basis to understand both sides laterally with poise, with grace, with humility, with love, with understanding, in order, with our faith at the top of the realm. In God we trust. Okay. Thank you so much for a beautiful 2 years here on MBR. I'm excited for what this third year has to bring. And stay tuned. Next week, we talk about hate, something completely opposite of our Taurus moon next week. Be a big one. All right, folks, it is my time to come off. And thank you again for honoring and for validating and for being you. Because nobody does you better than you. Have a great one. I'll see you in a week. And may the abundance flow. So here we go. May the angels carry you with peace, love, joy, happiness, and abundance of all that you desire most. Peace out, folks. See you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.